Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this SATCOM video presentation on the Premium Diamond SAT-PAK, to be referred to as the SAT-PAK Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, the SAT-PAK Plus will be limited to 250 members. The program will only have an offering of 250 SAT-PAKs. Those SAT-PAKs are deemed and considered private securities. When an individual invests in this SAT-PAK, here are the basics of what comes with that SAT-PAK. It does allow the individual to upgrade to the SAT-PAK Prime. Now, we don't foresee a lot of individuals wanting to take advantage of this SAT-PAK, and that is fine, because the fewer individuals who take advantage, the better the offering. Each one of the SAT-PAKs comes with insured protection. Now, the SAT-PAK's value does not accumulate until it has matured. Each of the SAT-PAKs have a maturity of 4 years. This asset-backed SAT-PAK will be pooled, where the individuals who are involved in this SAT-PAK, the value of the SAT-PAK being $7.5 million. At the end of the 4 years, the $7.5 million is then divided amongst the individuals who acquired the SAT-PAK. Now, we must say that some of the investments into this program will be from the organizations associated with SATCOM. That is how SATCOM is able to offer this, because SATCOM will get to invest through its other organizations in its own program. How do these programs work? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we can't give you all of the details as to how we go about creating the programs we create. You will have to go and look at the Securities Act and the securities laws for the United States and international securities laws in order to understand the securities to a much better degree. The SAT-PAKs operate this way. Because the SAT-PAKs are asset-backed, that means basically that the organization known as SATCOM goes out and acquires assets that are valued at 7.5 million. When they acquire those SAT-PAKs that are valued at 7.5 million, they then take those SAT-PAKs that they have a guaranteed value of at least 7.5 million, and they secure it. In other words, they lock it. They don't trade it, they don't move it, they don't devalue it. They lock it in place so that you maintain your value, or their value. Then they acquire the insurance to help assure the value of the SAT-PAK. For 4 years, that value sits. Now, an individual is only paying, let's make sure that individuals understand, they are contributing to the SAT-PAK 2800, which is their portion that is guaranteed. They have just created a package that is worth $2,800 when they acquired a SAT-PAK. We add value to the SAT-PAK by processing, affixing, and recording the SAT-PAK with certain organizations. By increasing that value of $2,800 immediately upon receipt, we then place that SAT-PAK back in the hands of the owner of the package, of the security. When we place the package back in the hands of the owner now becomes the owner of the security. SATCOM will then take and acquire more assets to further shore up the value of the SAT-PAK. As the interest and other accumulations occur, the increasing of the value of the SAT-PAK will continue to grow exponentially to the point to where either it will have its value according to the 7.5 million or greater. Ladies and gentlemen, SATCOM will then take and create a bond certificate for the SAT-PAK. That bond certificate is created separately. The bond certificate is not delivered to the party until the maturity date. Once the maturity date arrives, the party will return the original SAT-PAK in its original condition, or as close to that condition as possible. They'll return it back to SATCOM. Because it is a security, because it is a bond, because it is a certificate, and the certificate has value, the value can be depreciated if the certificate is damaged. Remember, it is a bond. The bond has to be returned in either mint condition or as close to mint condition as possible. The greater the damage to the package itself, the less the value to the package is. At that point, SATCOM will then return a certified copy of the original to the client with a bond certificate cover sheet, so that they will have the complete bond delivered back to them, plus the item issued for the value of the package at the termination of the 4 years for the package life, the maturity date. That is this section that you will find on the website. It says it begins for each member of this group November 15th, but it won't be available until May 31st, 2019. So the value started over 7 months ago, and that value is continuing to increase the value of the SAT-PAK before it is ever offered. These are private offerings. They are not public offerings. When we say offerings, they are private securities, and we will conform and comply. Many people have heard us mention that we were going to be acquiring QSIT numbers. Because of what we're doing, there has been a lot of drawback and blowback from the industry attempting to prevent us from offering these securities to our clients. We will continue to work diligently to provide this information to our clients on a level to where they can rest assured as to the value of their security. But what they need to understand is we anticipated that certain groups and organizations would not be happy with us doing these private offerings and placing the value in your hands, as opposed to putting it and making it a public offering where individuals could sit up there and increase or decrease its value. The way these SAT-PAKs work is no one can interfere with its value. It doesn't matter if the stock market goes up or the stock market goes down. These are not traded on the stock market. It doesn't matter if someone says, well, we're going to get rid of SATCOM. They can do any of that. SATCOM takes the assets and it backs them, or backs up the SAT-PAKs with the assets. That is done initially. We are getting ready to overback each SAT-PAK to guarantee the value will not decrease. So let's say the value of these SAT-PAKs, want to make sure you understand, the total value is 7.5 million for the pooling of the SAT-PAK. That's why they're pooled together. Let's show you that in writing. Asset-backed pooled SAT-PAKs, they're pooled together. Because they are pooled together, the value of the total package is 7.5 million. Now, because the value is 7.5 million, individuals will be allowed to do an early withdrawal. The only problem with the early withdrawal is it's only adjusted for a nominal amount. So that could actually hurt. But if an individual waits the entire time period, then the individual will get the total value subtracted from the other members, because it will be divided evenly and equally amongst the members. So the best thing is for the individuals to wait for the total 4 years to go by. As we stated, stock market goes up, stock market goes down, does not affect the value of the SAT-PAK because we back it by assets. But what if the value of the assets goes up, goes down? That's why we back it by more than what the asset is worth. We acquire assets greater than the value of the 7.5 million. It is our hope over the next 2 years to take and increase that value, backing that SAT-PAK up by 3 times its current value, which will be 22.5 million. That is our intent. However, the 22.5 million will not be divided amongst the SAT-PAK members. The 22.5 million is only there to make sure that the 7.5 million is guaranteed. Now go and check. No other organization is backing their securities with assets 3 times the value and making sure that whatever they're backing it with is secured and not traded otherwise. They just don't do that. They're all about profit. We're not here to make a profit. We're not here to make a profit. Let me say that again so that you understand. We are not here to make a profit. We're here to provide a means and access to securities markets for private individuals. No one else does this. No one else looks out for the common person. No one else offers stock to the common person. You might hear of something called a penny stock. This is not a penny stock. It's not offered that way, not traded that way. Well, what happens if SATCOM is not here in 4 years? Well, it is very unlikely that an organization like SATCOM could be dissolved or would cease to exist or would be, what's the word that I'm looking for to explain, sanctioned and or penalized and or anything out of business, because SATCOM is insured against such things, and we are buying assets that we can use to offset any fine, any penalty, and whatever regulation it is said that we have not complied with, we have put in place an mechanism of making sure that we have complied with every regulation in the first instance, and if there are new regulations that they say should apply, we will make sure that we comply with that regulation as well. SATCOM plans to be here for a while. This business model, many other people will try to duplicate. No one else does what we are doing, but you'll see many others will try to duplicate it. The only problem is their attempt to duplicate will be to take and make more money, to make more value, to make more profit, which is where every company fails. Companies that try to make too much profit makes that their main goal, and they lose a lot in customer service. SATCOM's customer service could use a lot of improvement, but the problem with that is if we were to focus too much on other things, it would take away from us following and complying with certain laws, because we have to train our staff accordingly. So we do apologize that we are not at full strength now. We are getting ready to take on staff, hire customer service representatives, hire telephone representatives to answer individuals' questions. We cannot answer every question. We can only answer questions that specifically deal with our programs as spoken of on the website. We cannot answer technical questions, legal questions, financial questions. Individuals will have to go to professionals in each of those areas to get the answers to their questions. If they do not provide the answer to your question, you need to understand that we cannot come in and say, well, no, here's what they're not telling you, because that's not our job. We have not agreed to do that. All we have agreed to do was give you a private offering, private security, private bond, private certificate that is backed by assets. So this program, once again, is called the Premium Diamond Program, but when you refer to it with SATCOM, you will refer to it as the SAT-PAK Plus. You must refer to it as the SAT-PAK Plus, as the SAT-PAK representatives will not refer to it as the Premium Diamond program. So when you are ordering the program and you are referencing the program with SATCOM, you must refer to it as the SAT-PAK Plus. We do hope that this provides a brief description of the SAT-PAK Plus, and we thank you for visiting us here at SATCOM. May you have a very wonderful day. Goodbye.